Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everyone all over the world. At some point, many people will see this video, and until then, I can't wait. So I'm just sort of calling it ahead of time. You feel me? But in fact, tonight we're actually talking about a little bit of animosity going on, on the other side of the pond as it concerns Denmark specifically, and Denmark's treatment of refugees, specifically Muslims. All right, here we go. Okay, so my name's Albert. I host a show called Vlogs About Nothing here on YouTube, 4 streams a day. You won't ever find my content anywhere else. This is it. This is the channel. This is what I do. This is the extent of my limitations, as far as much as I'm willing to go to get things done. You feel me? I've made it clear publicly on the channel here before, I'm sure to some dismay of many people, which I did hear feedback from at that particular time when I did publish that video. Listen, I'm a Catholic guy, right? I know, again, to my secular, to my atheist, to my Satanist friends, you feel me? Like, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I appreciate and I respect all other people's beliefs, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you took religion away from people, you'd be taking a real big part of our collective identity. And whether or not you believe in God really isn't the question, so much as whether or not you should have the right to believe in a God or many gods. And again, I'm not a fan of stripping away human beings of their rights. I just never have been and I never will. So, as we talk about Denmark tonight, I need to make it clear that I love everybody. Again, we just in the video before, like, people shouldn't take this kind of social commentary, this kind of extemporaneous speaking, you feel me, in like a personal kind of a way. Because hey, we're only circumstances of our environment. So oftentimes when we, and I say we as Westerners, as good old boys here from America, we perceive like a certain thing that goes down and we label it, right? But again, I'm not talking about the people that live in Denmark. You understand? I'm talking about the representation of the people that live in Denmark and just how much propaganda impacts the modern world in a negative way. So, Abrahamic religions are pretty popular here on planet Earth. I mean, from Judaism to Muslim to, Christianity, they actually all fall under the umbrella of Abrahamic religion, right? And in fact, if it's not an Abrahamic religion, then maybe the most other popular kind of believing in a god, right, would be like polytheism, right, instead of monotheism. So polytheism, believing in many gods, right, not just one. And so I don't understand why the Danish government, has such like a huge problem with the influx of migrants that are coming from countries and identifying as Muslim. Okay, here's the thing, right? Like again, I mean, I'm not like the smartest guy, in the world. I'm not like the smartest guy at all, ever, in any sort of situation. In fact, I might be, the dumbest, just because I'm just a guy that talks about nothing. Don't mind me. But I feel like as a human being that I have a problem when other human beings don't want people to move there for whatever reason. Like, unless people are moving to your neighborhood and like completely tearing stuff up, you feel me? Then like, why? You don't want a group of people, specifically the Muslims, to migrate on over to Denmark because of why? Like again, it's sort of like Americans here that identify as Christian in any one of the many branches of Christianity who just automatically hate Muslims. I'm not about it. All right? Like I'm not about perpetuating hate. I'm not about enabling the kind of negative rhetoric that continues to put the world in a terrible place as it concerns human rights and the acknowledgement of sentience and the ability for human beings to get basic access to services that would otherwise be provided by the environment that they're from. You know what I mean? So, like, I got a problem when Christians attack Muslims. Like, you understand, right? That, like, I'm a Christian, you know what I mean? Like, and I understand from my interpretation of practicing Christianity, you know, that again, Christianity is a part of a larger concept that Abrahamic religions bring to the table in their monotheistic form. You feel me? So, like, why am I going to argue or hate people that are essentially on my team? Like, ideologically speaking, even if there were differences, which obviously there are, you know, it shouldn't detract from the fact that the freedom to practice your religion is something that is sacred and that is a human right. You can also choose to forego religion and completely be atheist, completely be secular, completely, you know, it's up to you. But again, it's tough to take stuff away from people, especially when the thing that you are trying to take away from people is ultimately a modality of peace, and it's only turned into destructive practice when that religion is led by a corrupt individual who fails to recognize that all religions are equal and the lack thereof all religions are equal, meaning it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not or whatever. If you're a good person, if you come into my community and you contribute, if you pay taxes, if you don't commit violent crimes, you know, I mean, you're okay in my book. You understand what I'm saying? Only because as a Western capitalist, I enjoy competition. I think the more the better, right? I mean, I want people to play the game. You know, the anti-capitalist who claims to be capitalist seeks to destroy all of their competition in whatever way they deem appropriate or not, and then to monopolize. That's, again, that's like a story taken straight out of Lex Luthor's brain. I mean, a true Western capitalist is interested in competition. Why? Because the essence of a free market says that if your product is better, you're better, you know, and I can live with that standard. I really can. Going back to Denmark, and, you know, link in the description below to the documentary that turned me on to the idea that the government in Denmark isn't treating Muslims so well. Nobody treats Muslims well, and that bothers me. That should bother other Christians. Like why do we continue to single out a religion, you know, and want to become violent about it? You feel me? And not let people, like, you understand that, like, I think the golden rule, I think, right, is treat people like the way that you want to be treated, you know? And I don't think that treating migrants that are Muslims bad is, like, a good way to, I mean, this is why Westerners aren't welcome, you know, in parts of Europe or the Middle East. It's not because, like, I'm not trying to go check out, you feel me, like Libya or Iran or Iraq. I mean, you guys realize that the Middle East has some of the most oldest and historical things that have ever happened on this planet. It's a cool place to be, you know? I mean, other than the fact that, again, there's so much anti-Western hate there, like so much Western hate there, right? Because of the propaganda, because of how our government sells us, you know, because of, and I think that's all wrong. I believe in open borders. I believe in, you know, people meeting people. Isolationism in the 21st century is sort of like so archaic, right? That you may as well be living in the dark ages. I mean, you know, we can travel in a day's time to any point in the globe. I mean, like, again, the facts kind of outspeak themselves. And I just, as a Western religious practitioner of the Roman Catholic faith, you know, it's cool. I'm cool with Muslims. I'm cool with every religion. I'm cool with no religion. I'm cool with Satanist folks. I'm cool with atheist folks. Like, again, I'm cool with people. What I'm not cool with are bad people, evil people, mean people, people that want to exploit other people for their benefit. You don't have to be Catholic or Muslim to be, a Richard. You feel me? That's like not the prerequisite, nor is it the lack of believing in one of those faiths any kind of, significant indicator as to what kind of a person you are. In fact, we should value diversity. We should promote inclusivity. And again, we should value and cherish the very, very different things that all people from all over the world have to bring to the table. That's all I'm saying. So I hope that you guys have a really good night. And again, we didn't even really get to talk too much specifically about the policies that are impacting Muslims as they always do anytime they try to move anywhere in the free world, because apparently, I guess, if you're not, I don't get it. You know what? Again, I don't understand. I don't understand, and I don't very much appreciate it, if we're being honest, right? Because the price that we pay is not just literally with our lives, right? Which is a pretty big price to pay, but it's also a price that we'll always pay. It's not just a one-time price. I mean, it's a forever thing, because people are unwilling to cooperate, because people, Westerners, Christians, are unwilling to accept another Abrahamic faith within their community. Again, blows my mind. It's like when you see people that are like, you're watching a professional sports game, right? And you see people on the same team fighting with each other. I mean, seriously, like, that's the most common sense kind of example I could ever give, right? Because as a spectator, as a fan, as a random stranger watching, it's not good, right? That, like, when you see that like, it can't be good, because they're supposed to be on the same team. That's all, right? And by, dividing people and making them fight, we're distracted. There's other people that are shaking down the till. You know what I mean? So, like, the propaganda has been never even about all of the turmoil and chaos and the problems that you would think are the problem, right? Not so much as that, like, while people are arguing, distracted, and fighting, barons are seriously taking everything we got. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not sure if that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing. But yeah, so I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for watching the channel. Again, to the new subs and the new viewers, I really appreciate your time. I hope that you guys have a really good, safe Saturday night. Don't drink and drive, you feel me? And even if you've had one drink and you're supposed to be the designated driver, don't drive. You feel me? Hit up an Uber. Do anything other than get into a moving vehicle, right, and drive anywhere. So I hope that you guys have a really good night, and talk to everybody soon, okay? Bye.